Hey guys, it's Rick. Yes, good morning again. Good afternoon, I guess now. I'd like to share with you something that just was brought to my attention. I want to share it with you since it's the season. It's from Isaiah. I've read this before, but let's go ahead on with this. And you know how things work in this idea that each verse is represented. Like the first is in worlds, like from this is Isaiah chapter 9. 9 is about you know a consciousness of a. It can be either higher or lower, whatever that consciousness may be. If it's the lower, then it's representing 666. If it's higher, then it's representing 144,000. And this type of letter and number sense, the way things are written in the Bible. But anyways, it would be like this is the first verse, second, third, and fourth. That's the first worlds. And then it goes 5, 6, 7, and 8. That's the second world. And so, but in reality, what happens is those first 4 worlds are representing one. It's like a information from one, right? Because the second one's going to be about something else. The second grouping is going to be about God's creation. The third grouping is going to be about this combination of whether or not they are joined at the hip or not. You know, whether you're free or if you're set free. But anyways, the entire Bible is written this way. Okay. But anyways, we say, nevertheless, the dimness shall not be such as was in her vexation. When at the first he lightly afflicted the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterward did more grievously afflict her by the way of the sea, beyond Jordan and Galilee of the nations. The people that walked in darkness have seen a great light. They that dwell in the land of the shadow of death, upon them hath the light shined. This is the second one representing the heart and north, and it's the second world. Second world is talking about the inside of us. And this inside of us is where we travel. And it's not a death. It's a death to the outside because it only takes one time to go. Just one trip brings you out of your grave. And so in this particular place, on number 2, when it's talking about the second world, the second kingdom, this is the inside of us. This is they that dwell in the land of the shadow of death. Upon them hath the light shined. Thou hast multiplied the nation, which means we've gone in and now there's more to the lighter side of the world and less in the darker, but there's a whole lot of darkness. So we've multiplied ourselves by equipping ourselves and giving a place for this God to dwell, for this light to dwell. The joy before thee according to the joy in harvest, as men rejoice when they divide the spoils. For thou hast broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulder, the rod of his oppressor, and in the day of the Midian, as in the day of Midian. All right, Midian is again when we're having this trouble with, when you're having trouble with the Midian, this is and nothing is working. This is there's no fruit bearing tree anymore. It's not there. It's been taken from you. You gave it away before you ever came to life. But anyways, you're breaking this yoke of his burden and the staff on his shoulder. And now listen. Because you're going to be giving birth to this on your shoulders. And I'm going to say this a little ahead of time, but this is the whole story behind the bearing of Christ, and that all the idea of my ever popular story of St. Christopher, that he bore Christ upon his shoulders. And so this is this idea of having the government later on, and peace shall be no end. This idea that that the government will be upon his shoulder, because this is the kingdom, this area here above the neck, on the shoulders, this side from here up. Well, is what they're talking about. Number 5. For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of the fire. 5 is representing our body. So it's our sacrifice. It's the blood, it's the lamb's blood. It's your blood that's being spilled out here. It's not Christ's blood. Okay, now here's 6. 6 is this idea. 6 is the works itself. For unto us a child is born. Unto us a son is given. And the government shall be upon his shoulder. And his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. This is number 6. The child is born to us. We're talking about our child. We're talking about giving birth to our child that's in swaddling clothes. This is when we open up, when we travel this spot in us where we come through the shadow of death, and we in this place when we're in Midian, in this place where this battle will be taking place. This idea is that this lets loose what is inside of you, and what's inside of you is your soul. And with this clothes all around it, this is the only way to set it free. And when we set this child free, this is the child in us is born. This is 6, when we travel this highway inside of us. 7, and of the increase of his government, and it would be peace, there shall be no end. Upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom, to order it and to establish it with judgment and with justice, and from henceforth, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this. And so it goes on and on and on. All right. Those are the only parts that I wanted to read to you. So I'm just baiting you with this here. But this is the idea that this is where the child is born. The child is born inside of you. It is begotten. It's not made. It's not being made with the womb, and it's not being fed with a titty. It's been brought about because you thought of it. It's begotten. It's of the mind. That's all this is. And it's as easy as that. But you can hear these words out of my mouth, but you have to believe in God. You have to believe in him to get this whole thing to work. It's not going to take no strangers. All right. Anyways, I love you guys. Just thought I'd share that with you. Best of the holidays to you.